Sega begins.
Yeah!
Damn, man. Yo.
I just wanted to do that the fuck.
That's a
Of
good
course you
outtake
did.
right there.
Of
That's
course you did. Of course you did.
Sorry.
Level 857 Video Game Podcast.
Sega brings You about to choke. That's hard to do. Sega.
That's even funnier than I
Oh,
thought.
it's even funnier than my shit.
I'm keeping both at it.
Oh
All right,
my God, that's
go right
awesome.
ahead. son.
Yes.
Sega begins 60th anniversary celebrations with a new website and the new Sega Shiro character.
You know what's funny?
That
It
was a
looks like
tongue
it says
twister.
goth, right? Doesn't it look like it says goth?
Yeah,
It says-
60th.
Yeah,
The
so it
60th.
looks like-
Yeah.
So, let's see. They launched a new
Shiro.
website. They launched a new website for the 60th anniversary, and it's discussing their history basically.
Hmm?
It's in Japanese right now, but that's what it says. Which isn't a big deal as far as gaming wise.
Mhm.
It's like, all right, Sega. this is how I feel about Sega Japan. Let me get this off my chest.
Oh, we got a little mini
Oh
rant
no!
here.
Yo,
So-
sorry, Sega fans. We gotta apologize in
No,
advance.
this is Sega Japan. This is Sega Japan in general. I don't know anything about Sega of America because they don't care at all to announce anything.
Right.
So
That's true.
Sega of Japan likes to hype weird things up
Mm-hmm.
that you want to get excited about, and they let you down with every announcement they make
Humankind?
for the past 2 years at least,
Was it
or
humankind?
longer.
Humankind,
And they
yes.
get
Yeah.
hyped about stuff, and they're like, here we go, we got a countdown.
No, we did get hyped last year.
We got hyped. We
Yeah,
got
And
hyped.
then
yeah, yeah,
we've
yeah,
done
yeah,
we've
yeah,
done
yeah.
reports on Sega
Yes,
constantly
Yes,
Yep.
we have.
and get let down every time.
No, we fall for it.
So I'm not falling for it this
we,
time,
fall, we fall
Sega.
for it every time.
You know what? I'm going to fall for it this time.
So listen, they they haven't announced the game yet.
No.
So this is what they did. So they brought a new mascot character out. Not Sonic, not anybody, not Alex Kidd, which would have been dope, by the way. But is Sega Shiro. Sega Shiro is this character's name.
He's the son
He's
of...
He's a person. So it was a mascot created for the Sega Saturn, actually.
Yes.
Named Sega. What is it?
Sagata?
Sagata Sanshiro.
Yeah.
That's the mascot made for the Saturn.
This is his son.
Right.
His son. So this is his son. But the character now was Mayoto
I love it
Say
when
it.
Jay
Sound
says
it
the
out,
names.
sound it out.
Fujioka.
Sound it out. Come on.
Sound it
I
out. Go
said
ahead.
it already.
No, yeah.
This is the eldest son of the Segata's actor Hiroshi Fujioka. So this son, Mayoto,
Love it with Jay with the names. I love it.
he was in this.
Love it.
The icon character in this today was in a crossover also, Project X Zone 2. His son is the new mascot.
What's his name
So-
again? I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Damn.
I'm joking.
Mayoto Fujioka.
Yeah, that was good.
Okay,
That was good.
That was good.
That was good.
Oh, yeah, you give it credit.
There you go.
All right.
90%.
He's the oldest son. But listen, this is a person. This is a human being, right?
Yes.
And he's a mascot.
But that
For
swag,
Sega.
though. The swag.
There's a
That's
commercial. There's a commercial that came out. This, if you see the thumbnail on our thing here,
Mhm.
that's the son.
Yeah.
And he says this like catchphrase
so
throughout this.
So Japanese.
It's what does he say? It's Sega Dale.
Sega go.
Sega Dale.
Sega go.
Sega Dale.
Sega.
So it's not for us.
Mm.
Obviously, this wasn't anything that happened in America.
Lost in translation.
So I'm like,
Lost in
what is happening here? People are apparently excited about it.
They're pumped.
They're excited
so
about it.
pumped.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they said they don't know if it's going to bring back Segata, the game. I don't know what that has to do with anything.
I hope they don't bring that back. I
But
don't even know what the fuck that is.
It
I
wouldn't
was about to
surprise
say,
me.
what is
Listen,
that?
it wouldn't surprise me if Sega said, "Here you go." Here's
Well, you
this
know,
game.
The funny thing is, I can't even argue that point
No.
because Sega has, for the past year or so,
Mm.
hyped shit up.
Bad track record.
And this basically let us down. Like, really, and not even like just a little bit. Like,
No.
the worst way possible.
No.
Yo, you can't wait till I'm about to announce his
Yeah.
humankind. What the fuck is humankind?
Listen, if
What
they
is that?
announced a game that was about Sega for the Dreamcast, I would be like, "Yo, where at least that's something."
I just have a feeling in my gut. It got me excited. There's a feeling in my gut. I don't know if it's wishful thinking.
The silhouette.
But from when we did our interview with the I always mess up his last name. Ben Atsume.
Yes.
Oh, that was good, right?
Yes.
Hey, it's better than
Been
John.
awesome, man. Been awesome.
Ben awesome. Ben awesome. But
Ben
but
awesome.
he was kind of alluding to the fact of there's other companies asking Sega for these IPs.
But Sega's not going to announce it. I don't think. They don't have anything to do with those. They'll say, here you go, and then we can expect good things from those indie, developers.
You never know. I don't know.
Sega themselves was the last time they announced an actual IP that they do,
Or
other
maybe,
than Yakuza.
maybe there's a Dreamcast too. Who knows, man?
Dude,
Listen.
that's fucking. You talk about wishful thinking. God damn.
Listen, the
Listen,
promo
you
for
heard
that-
it here first. You heard it here first.
As much as I would love to see that.
Let me
I
ask
don't
you
know,
a question before we talk about reality. What would you both think about that? If they announced Dreamcast 2, what would be your feelings on that?
You know what? If they announced,
Would you be
Dreamcast-
happy, puzzled,
You know
sad?
what?
Like, what the hell are you doing? Like, what would you?
The only company that I can think of that can compete with Nintendo would be Sega. So if they came out with something like a competitor to what?
Wait, what?
I'm trying to read the chat here. Sony for the
Who's that?
technical difficulties. Oh, but nice one, Big Chalk. And then he also says trolling. And I'd buy it. That's what.
That's what he said for the Dreamcast.
Dreamcast.
Yeah, yeah.
This is
Yeah.
what I think. of the
Dreamcast 2, you'd
too.
buy it.
I think the
got
Dreamcast 2 would be equivalent of the TurboGrafx 16 right now.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know, man.
Yes. Because I don't think they have a big enough. Sega themselves,
Mm.
from what they've done for the past decade, I don't think they'd have enough to bring out to support a system like that
I don't know, man.
themselves. They'd have to prove me wrong.
I'll tell you
I'll
one
be
thing,
willing.
I
And
have to
Capcom,
disagree, man.
Capcom doesn't do shit like that either anymore.
Yeah.
So the Dreamcast was very much a Sega Capcom machine.
Yeah.
I don't see it happening again,
I see.
especially
So
for
you
the
wouldn't
2
be
years.
excited.
Oh, I would want to see what happens, but I would have no high hopes for it. At all.
You would think like this is probably some bull ass shit. But
Listen.
let me take a peek and see. What's
Yeah,
going
I'd like
on.
to see something, but I don't
listen.
see it. I don't see it
You don't see
excelling
it succeed
at this
succeeding.
time, especially with the new systems coming.
Okay.
However, I would have to disagree with you on that. Only because
Why do you have to
of-
disagree?
of all the companies that I can see, like that are, look, all right, Nintendo, right? They came out with the Wii. They had the fucking Wiimote. Everybody's like, what the fuck is that? No other company could compete with that shit,
Right.
and it became the fucking highest selling shit. Even Sony tried to copy.
So you think Sega has to come out? Would have to
Sega
come out with something?
Sega came out when they were neck and neck. They came out with all these fucking add-ons and all this fucking shit, but they were innovative, just like Nintendo is. They weren't afraid to take risks. Obviously, it fucking burnt them in the end because
That's
they
what
went,
I'm saying.
They went too
But
crazy.
has that time passed for them?
Sega
Time
innovates
did
too
pass,
fast.
and they did learn from a lot of shit that they did, and they've been developers ever since after that, dreadful Dreamcast
Right.
debacle. But that's one of my favorite systems. I think it's
Right.
probably one of the favorite system of all time. A lot of great games.
So
came
you
out
would be
for it.
excited.
I would be fucking super excited. And if for Nintendo, I would be scared if Sega said, "Yo, we're coming out with a fucking system," and it would compete. Like that's the only company that I can think of that can compete with Nintendo. Not SNK, not fucking the PC Engine, not any of that shit.
I'm half and half with it.
I don't know, man.
Me personally, I'm
I'd love to see
I'm a extremely huge Sega fan. It depends if you announce something.
I'm a huge Dreamcast fan.
Yeah. If you announce, depends what you. For me, it's what do you announce with it? What's coming out with it? Is there something for me to be like, okay,
Right.
I'm gonna get the system for this fucking game. But at the same time, yeah, it's coming out now. It would be like I don't know what they would have to do, like to stick around for a while, because remember their marketing for the Saturn and Dreamcast was
Bad.
Yeah,
like it was.
it was.
It was pretty who's running it now? Who's gonna turn the whole ship around? And that's a big ship you gotta turn around. They have the IPs to compete.
They
Don't get me
innovated
wrong.
them.
They have the titles to compete. But is there anyone with any smarts like able to put the money behind it and all that stuff? But
They
of
innovated
course,
themselves to oblivion.
yeah. No, it's pretty much true. But if they did it, if they said Dreamcast 2 coming out, I honestly be like, oh shit, really? I'd be like, okay. What are we working with? I would have to look like you said you would be looking, but I would be excited like how you said would be excited, but I'd be a little cautious.
The promo they had for the 60th anniversary looked like a Virtua Fighter character, basically. In the
Yeah, everyone's thinking Virtual Fighter 6
But
is being announced.
what that character was
What's that guy, right?
this guy.
Yeah,
here.
he dressed up in a
Yes,
gi. Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So this is Sega that I'm talking about here.
But the only
this
thing
is who they announced
the
for
only
this big
thing,
announcement.
the only thing that where I'm like, all right, they did this whole new website, right?
to talk about how great they
But
were.
but the thing is, like, what's the point of coming out now and just showing your entire history of big things that you've done on a timeline? And it said 2020,
Because this is for the old people, for Sega.
Yeah.
but they also said at the end of the timeline, 2020 still has nothing. They have nothing on 2020. So what is going to hold up as a big moment in Sega history to put on a timeline?
Listen, they still have Sonic every month on the 20th. They're supposed to announce something for
Yeah.
it. Obviously, this virus stuff going around.
Yeah.
They couldn't do it
That
this month.
complicates a lot of things for
It
everybody.
does
And they couldn't.
complicate a
They
lot
said
of
the 27th. I think they announced something
Yeah.
for Sonic.
But
But
at least they are still.
I
But-
think there's something. I don't know what it is. I think there's something significant planned for them.
for Sonic Year, this isn't a Sonic announcement
Yeah.
because obviously they have it every month. I don't know what they're doing with that.
Right.
The movie being as good as it was,
Right.
it would make sense for it to be a Sonic announcement
Yeah.
or something like, oh, we have.
They're gonna
you know.
announce it. They're gonna release it in Japan.
Yeah, exactly. The
Yes.
digital release. It should have been
First
the digital.
ever Sonic the Hedgehog gaming console. What?
So
Plug and play. Like what?
I mean, it was rumored that there was going to be a Virtua Fighter, but it's not. Fighting games are nothing now.
No, they
Like,
have-
to be your main title right now.
have a
is
lot
not-
of
that's
ideas.
nothing.
I actually was just watching something that it's like you announce it, you're like, yeah. That's a second thing to announce with like if you say, obviously Sonic's is like the big title for them. A Fantasy Star, like, whatever. Oh shit, Fantasy Star. A Shining
would-
Force. Whatever
If they were to come out with anything as a big announcement, it would have to be 5 games. 5 top games people have been begging for.
Easily.
New editions of them.
That's easy.
Sega is back.
you get all those
Sega's easy.
Yep.
you just like the
Dude.
Panzer crowd. You get
Yeah.
that crowd,
Dude.
and you get them all to be like,
There's so many.
That's
IPs,
the only thing I
dude.
can see that can get them to where they need to be as far as a company right
It's
now.
an easy fucking sell, man.
personally, do I think I don't obviously it was wishful thinking of the Dreamcast too, but like,
it's going to be nothing.
I
Let's look at the news now. It should be now, right? They should have announced it by now.
What do you
There's
guys think
nothing.
out there? Actually, I'll tell you one thing. My last memory of the Dreamcast, which is the end of Sega,
Getting
uh,
that
Right?
ass.
You dug a hole for
the
it.
one, yeah, no,
That's your last memory.
Nah, the one, it's a sad memory.
Tombstone.
It's a sad memory that I had, and you guys know this shit because I complained to you guys all the time about it at the time.
I don't know about it.
Nope.
I'm a huge Half-Life fan.
Oh yeah. Game got canceled.
I was
Got it.
waiting for this fucking game. Game Pro, reading that shit.
Ned Flanders though, man. Who
I
cares
was
about playing? as
fucking
Ned
reading
Flanders?
this shit, and I was like waiting for this game to come out. I went to the store in the city in Manhattan, and I remember going to this video. It was a mom and pop video game store I used to go to after college. I used to walk there.
GameStop.
Anyway, I go in there and I get the freaking magazine. I'm like, oh shoot,
Ned
I'm reading
Flanders.
all about it. I see the strategy guide in the glass. I'm like, wow, and I'm like, I'm gonna wait till the game comes out before I buy this. Before I purchase this
I got a piss.
freaking thing, I'm gonna wait for the strategy guide. But I was hyped for it, man.
Little did you know.
And the letdown, dude. And then the
gone.
system.
But you know
The
what?
game never came out.
You
First
could
of all,
download it for free online right now and play
Yeah,
it.
I know.
Because they
I know.
hacked the shit out of
I know.
Dreamcast. That's why it died.
I know. But
Fully
I would be-
playable. Fully done.
I definitely would be excited. I would just be excited just to have Sega come back with hardware.
Mm.
Just any hardware. Even if they were just do a Dreamcast Mini or some shit like that. That would fucking, oh my God. I would go crazy for that.
That might
Let
be
alone-
something that they might do.
You know, if they did something like that, that would be insane.
That's
I would
possible.
Go fucking nuts.
That's
Now,
possible.
That's just that. But if they came out with some new console to like,
Listen,
that-
put
that's
Jet-
wishful thinking.
Put Jet Grind in there. Put like your main
Dude.
titles on there. Like 7 Crazy Taxi. They did it for the phone. How much you can put all that stuff in there?
Dude, look, the Raspberry Pi fucking single board computer. You can emulate that
Mhm.
with the 4. I think you can emulate it.
So it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility.
It's not out of the realm of possibility.
Plus, they did have success with the Genesis, so I'll give you that.
However, and that's realistic though.
The Mini.
That's a realistic expectation.
Yeah.
Like of them announcing something like that. But my wishful thinking, but if my wish list is for them to like announce some new shit, and I would be so fucking so excited to hear that they're like, "Yay, listen, I know we've been out of the game for a long time, but we actually have a system coming out. Like if they announce, hey,
I'm down.
Again.
I'm down. I agree with you on the
and again, they have a
Dreamcast
lot of
Mini.
IPs to sell. This shit.
I agree with you on the Dreamcast Mini. Like I could see that happen.
I'd be happy with any. I'd be excited about anything along that line.
And
of
it's
a
fully,
Dreamcast
it's fully emulatable, so I can see it happen.
Just letting you know. Where are you going? Oh. Oh no, that's all right. That's okay. It's okay, man. It's all right, man.
No, we were saying, like we were saying to them, that it's feasible that they may come out, like they might announce
Yeah.
something like a Dreamcast Mini, which would
Yeah.
be.
Well,
Okay.
that's what I said. I'd be even I said I would be happy, and I would probably purchase one myself if they came out with a Dreamcast Mini. If that's an announcement, and that's a realistic announcement. But then I was like,
it would be a smart move.
it would be a smart move. But then I'm like, but my wish list, a successor to the Dreamcast. Like
Well,
that-
yeah,
well,
there's
well, that's the wish list.
there's reality.
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
something that could happen, and then there's
Right.
fantasy.
Right.
The
But
amount of people remaking Sonic Adventure
Right.
in dreams
Right.
means that people want to see Sonic Adventure.
dude,
And if they can get that, even in a Dreamcast Mini, they would be freaking happy.
yes.
Or if
I
they
would
announced
be.
a Sega Adventure,
A Sega
Yeah,
Adventure.
that would be even more amazing.
Actually, that'd be a dope. You could put whatever character you want in that.
Check it out,
a
man.
Sonic Adventure, 3, right? They didn't come out with 3.
yeah,
So
yeah.
if they came out with a 3, that would surprise people.
That would get
also.
some people like
And that hasn't been done. So that's that
Even a
Sonic
Saturn
announcement
Mini.
might be good.
a Saturn Mini.
That's not gonna happen
Damn.
because of the emulation.
I'm about to say, it's
Well,
so
the
ugly,
emulation
though.
is
It's so
tough, but-
ugly. That's my only complaint is I love so many Saturn games. It's probably the one of the system that has probably my favorite games ever on that system.
That doesn't
But
age well.
it's so ugly. It's hideous.
The architecture of it is too hard
Did you get
to
another beer?
Yeah, you want one?
shrink it down
Well,
like
you're-
that.
I'll get it.
I got it.
So yeah,
Yeah,
a Saturn will be highly less plausible than a Dreamcast.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Dreamcast is still like the
But,
graphics.
yeah.
Yeah, they've aged, but not as bad as the Saturn.
No, I actually played Crazy Taxi. What was
Yeah,
it,
that's
like a
fine.
few weeks ago?
Mm.
Yeah,
A few
it's
weeks ago,
fine.
just throwing it on. my
Simple,
emulator.
simplified stuff looks fine.
It's
Yeah.
fucking
But
nice.
when you get to something like
Yeah.
Saturn,
Like a Resident Evil on the Saturn.
just like PlayStation
Yeah.
1,
Octo
you
shit
saw
on
how
the
great
Saturn.
PlayStation 1 Mini did.
Yeah.
Didn't do
Yeah.
good. It's not a good idea.
It's a
Yeah,
bad time
No,
to
it's-
to bring those. I mean, for the time, it's like, oh, this is
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You can't bring those back. They've
No,
N64. No, they've
No, but
aged
they-
terribly.
There's a ton of games that have
People
that-
still
like
want that.
what is
Yeah,
it?
they do.
Sonic Adventure did not. It aged.
No, those games
It's
look
not,
good.
it's not bad. It's
Those
not
games
bad.
look good. That's
yeah,
the
yeah,
next
yeah,
gen.
it's not bad.
They're still
128,
decent. Yeah.
128 looks good.
Yeah.
32 does not.
No, no,
64
no.
barely does.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
it's,
Yeah.
it's
But it depends on the game too.
Artistic style wise,
It
they
depends
don't
on the
look
game.
good.
No.
Saturn excel with the thing that
2D.
Saturn, yeah, 2D.
Yeah,
Saturn excelled at 2D.
but it's
Like
a
the-
crappy
the-
emulation of it.
What was it? Street Fighter. What the fuck? Street Fighter Alpha?
All of the Street Fighters.
Or all the Street Fighters that came out
anything
for Saturn
2D.
was like the definitive. They actually used the arcade.
Street Fighter Alpha was awesome for the Saturn. I fucking
Yeah,
love
well,
that shit.
it was a definitive. Like I remember seeing a video on YouTube. I don't know the YouTuber's name, but I remember seeing a video on YouTube. It was a comparison of the PlayStation Street Fighter Alpha versus the Saturn, and it was literally like night and day. The Saturn one looked exactly like the fucking like it had more frames and animation.
Mm.
It had fucking like it was just
Yeah, arcade.
it was an
almost.
arcade fucking port
Yeah.
basically, and I was on the Saturn.
Yeah.
But they ain't
But when
announcing
it
that.
came to 3D,
He said
They ain't
that.
announcing
no,
that.
no,
though.
I'm saying when
A
it came,
Saturn Mini, I wouldn't even be happy about that. I'd be
However,
like, nah,
when-
this shit's ugly, man.
but when it came to 3D shit, Saturn was killed by the PlayStation. Sony fucking destroyed them
Yep.
when it came to that. Now,
But that's what we're not
yeah.
gonna see that.
But,
so
yeah.
hopefully, Sega
Again.
comes out with something.
yeah,
We'll leave it to them.
I hope
surprise
they
us.
announce- I hope they announce
Y'all have traumatized us too much. You guys are due. I have faith.